this thing's really rough. As you can see, look at that shine. Oh my goodness. Alright guys, what's going on? So today we're back with my 1986 Ford F250. By the end of this video, this is not going to look quite like this anymore. In today's video, we're going to do an entire paint correction in detail. And by the end of this video, we'll go from this to this. Let's get into today's video. It's going to be a good one. We're off to a good start because the windshield passenger window doesn't roll up and out all of a sudden out of nowhere. Worked fine this entire time. Second I go to a car wash, yeah, we're not gonna work anymore. Okay, let's see. Oh wow, that's a lot of smooth. This is just what I want to do in the middle of the day at a car wash. Take the truck apart. You gotta be kidding me. This thing's literally stuck down. That's less than ideal, so I guess I'm just gonna start with our basic wash and then see what I can clean without soaking the inside of the truck. That's much better. The odds of this not starting after I'm done is pretty high, so we'll see how that goes. This is incredibly difficult to film because of how tight this place is and trying to get in here, but it's okay. We're making the best of it. Not like it's gonna look any different after I'm done anyways. This is our base wash. You guys are probably freaking out over me just spraying the hell out of the engine, not really caring too much. I've done this a million times, but it looks way better. The odds of it starting are like 50-50 to be honest. Kind of just accepted that, but luckily it's a manual now, so I can just push it over there. It's kind of down low, so it might be a pain to push it up, but either way. Not too bad on the inside actually. I didn't get that much around the inside. Not bad at all. Yeah, pretty impressed with myself actually. So now comes the fun part. I get to hand wash the rest of it. Looks really good. You can see how straight this thing is. It is just perfect. The bed was full of crap, so that was fun to get all that out. But look at the nice, even the patina on the bumper, man. Just nice. So I'm gonna let it sit for a second, let the motor kind of dry off, and then I'm gonna try to fire it up. And if it starts, I'll drive it back to the shop. If not, then I'm gonna have to sit here for a little while. So hopefully, because I didn't bring a single tool with me, so that's ideal. But either way, base wash done. Now we get to go to the detail, actual detail. Yay. All right, now here's the real moment of truth. Is this thing gonna screw me or is it gonna be nice like it has been? Oh, we're off to a good start. Did I hear the fuel pump? Ah! Bullshit knocking. Fine, that'll go away. Hell yeah, let's go back to the shop. See if I make it. Might just shut off randomly, so. Oh, the knock went away. I might have ate a little water. It's fine, it clears itself out. She's basically an IDI. I can just smell everything burning, just coming right through the massive floor. Oh, almost died. Did a little three-footer action. Now we're chilling. This thing really needs an exhaust, and a quiet one at that. It sounds like a freaking tractor. But it's okay, we're fixing things. But the nice thing is at least it's clean now. So you can see it looks like a freaking chalkboard. I basically stripped any sort of oils or greases or dirts off of it. So now it's to the point where it's, you know, my hand grips to it. It's not has 0 oils in it. So what we're gonna basically be doing is I'm gonna end up going through a full cut and polish process on this thing and basically a full paint correction. So I am no detailer. The detailer is right here. He's not in today, but I'm gonna try to pretend I'm him for a little bit and get this thing knocked out. So I'm gonna go get some product and I'm gonna lay it all out and basically show you guys what we're gonna end up doing on this thing to bring the paint back to life. Now it is a little bit weird because it is a patina truck, so it's not necessarily something that you would do, let's say, on that car over there. That one's definitely different. So that's a buddy's car, by the way. Either way, we're gonna do a full paint correction on this thing. Let's dive into it. All right, so here I went over to 3D and I got a couple different things. So I just got a bunch of microfiber towels, wipe this stuff down. I do have an acid wheel cleaner. I'll show you guys what I use this for. It's actually not gonna be on the wheels. And then I have a very, very heavy cut, couple different heavy cut foam pads. Now the reason I didn't do a wool pad is it's gonna mar up because of the amount of compound and different things that we're gonna put in this paint. And I'm gonna keep saying this, I'm not a professional detailer by any means. I did ask Chaz and talk to him a little bit about it, as well as a bunch of detailers about the actual process and what to do, because I've done this before on a bunch of different trucks. We actually did a bullnose, another one, which I'll put photos up, that I bought with Marty. This truck you never saw a video on, which I kind of wish I did, but this was the nicest 83 F350 dually that I've ever laid eyes on. It was a 1-owner, 84,000 original mile, manual 6.9 ATS turbo kit, 4-speed truck. It was super badass. I did a full paint correction on that and that thing came out absolutely amazing. So unfortunately on this turd, the paint isn't quite as nice, but I do like the patina. You guys know I'm a fan of patina, so we're gonna make it shine up as best as I can. So very similar process there. I ended up clay barring that whole truck. This one I think I'm gonna have to wet sand, clay bar, and then do the paint correction. So we'll just kind of go with it how we go. So I'm gonna try just doing a test spot right here without doing anything else. I am gonna clay bar the whole thing anyways, because you can feel how, like, you can just hear it. Very rough paint. This paint is very, 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 very rough, but you can definitely see a metallic in the paint as well. Just kind of here and there you can see the metallic. So there is a metallic in this paint, a very strong one at that, and that's how the blue truck was as well. So I am gonna go ahead and clay bar this section, just run a test pass, see where I'm at, and then that kind of gauges the rest of the whole truck. So let's see how it looks. Okay, so I'm gonna run through this as quickly as I can. Like I keep saying, this is not a detailing how-to. I'm not a detailer. I work on a bunch of rusty garbage all day. So I'm gonna show you guys the way that I do it. Probably not right. There's probably a bunch of guys that get paid way more money to detail than I do that will tell me I'm doing it wrong, and I don't really care. As long as it works, great. So what I'm using is just a basic waterless wash. I'm just gonna, this pad is very rough, as you can hear it. Pretty much like a super aggressive soap sponge, and that's to cut as hard as I can into this paint, because this paint feels like an absolute chalkboard. So I'm just gonna get it just a little damp, nothing too crazy on the pad. And then before I even get there though, I do have the same crappy clay bar that I used on the blue truck. As you can see, it's still got blue all over it. I don't care, this thing's probably full of garbage. I'm just gonna pretend like if I fold it in circles a bunch of times that it's gonna make it clean again. And that's just the way that we're gonna do this. There are levels to car detailing that have to do with the value of the car and the condition of the car. This one is at the very, very bottom, so it doesn't really matter. We're just making a bunch of garbage, shiny garbage, because you know, can't have dirty garbage. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so nothing too crazy. We're just gonna go ahead and get this thing pretty wet. It should be better to have a bucket, but I don't have a bucket for some stupid reason. I'm gonna soak this. Oh yeah, this thing's really rough. Okay, so listen, you'll literally hear it change. You go in the same spot a bunch of times, you can hear it. It starts rough, then you just don't hear it anymore. So, and then you can glide your hand over it and you'll immediately feel that it's gonna be smoother. Not only that, just the spot that I was in, it's picking up contaminants out of the paint and pulling that off. Because the roughness that you're feeling normally isn't necessarily craters, it's actually a bunch of contaminants on top of the paint that you're trying to get off. So, like I said, I probably should use a brand new piece, but the rest of this truck's so rusty, who cares? Basically get this thing nice and wet, run over the whole thing, get it to where, you know, a nice good section like this. Listen. Versus right here. Much quieter. So I know I'm pulling contaminants up. I'm gonna do this on the entire damn thing before I even start buffing. Oh, this is gonna take forever. Okay, so it's much, much smoother, but I can tell just based on the way the rag doesn't slide at all, it just tumbles, that it's still really, you can just hear it. It's still really rough. So I'm gonna try to buff a test spot and see what happens, but I'm probably gonna have to sand it. So I don't know, we'll see. All right, so we're using 3D1. This is kind of a hybrid compound and polish. This pretty much does everything. And then I'm using that super, super heavy pad. I'm just gonna do like 4 or 5 dots on this thing and then see what it does. Oh yeah, very, very, very aggressive. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So I can tell you pretty much right away, it's still smoother, but like, if I want to see anything happen with this paint, it's got to be sanded. Like, you can see it's not really doing it justice. Like the one spot right here is actually cutting pretty good, because obviously it's an edge, but I got to level this whole thing. It doesn't really look any different. You can see it's a little bit darker, which is obviously the goal, is to change the color of the truck, but it's still a satin. Like, I still see zero reflection in the paint, so I have a ton of work to do. That sucks. That makes this way harder. So basically what that means is I gotta start from like an 800, go all the way up to 3000 on the whole damn truck with a clay bar. Well, actually, there's no point in even doing a clay bar now, because I'm gonna sand it off anyways. The clay bar is like the really less aggressive way to do it instead of sanding, but if I'm gonna sand this, I'm just gonna go straight into a sand and a buff. So I'm going to sand this entire damn truck and then buff it. Yep, yep, much better. I think that wool, or that coarse pad I was starting with, is pretty much dulling everything down, and then I gotta come back with something less aggressive to actually clean everything up, because you can see the difference now. I mean, this section came out amazing right over here, so I still gotta work in these areas. But it's very interesting because there's actually like a patina that's coming out. I mean, you can see the light doesn't change, so that means just the paint was thin right here. So essentially, if this thing kept sitting in the sun, eventually these parts were gonna come through, naturally thinner areas. So I expect the entire hood to kind of have little bits like this kind of come out, which is kind of cool. Kind of shows its age, I like it. You can actually see it versus the other side. I mean, that's a huge difference. I can't even be mad at that. So, I don't know, I'll try a different combination and keep messing with it until I get something I like, and we'll do the whole damn thing. Okay, so I want to point something out. So I've done 700 different ways to do this, and you can see now this thing glides. Look at this, glides right off. This is good. Does not glide, just literally sticks. Stops, slides, that's what we want. So, unfortunately, it did exactly what I didn't want it to do, which had to be sanded with 1500 grit, and then it's gonna have to be worked up from there. Now, everything on this truck is rough. Like, this is now really smooth. You can't even hear my hand. See that? That's the biggest difference. Unfortunately, that sucks because this entire truck is a rusty pile of crap. So I now have to go through this whole thing, and basically the rule of thumb here is gonna end up being start at 1500, get as much of the texture out. This is sanded to 1500 right here, and you can see it's nice and smooth now. There's gonna be little textures here and there, and you can see some of the burn paint is kind of coming through because of just how thin it is, but if I want this thing to look any bit shiny or decent at all, it's just the way it's gonna happen. So a lot of these colors are gonna come out, which is actually kind of cool, and I'm really curious to see how it comes out on the bottom where a lot more of the rust is. So I'm gonna go up from 1500 to 2000, 25, end at 3000, and then do a heavy cut and a heavy polish, and this should be done. So see how it comes out. Okay, I think I finally figured it out. This looks good, we'll roll with this, which was a pain in the ass. Kind of sucks, but what do I expect? I'm taking garbage, absolutely garbage paint and making it look good. This is a full paint correction, as you can see. Look at that shine. Oh my goodness, that is perfect. Hell yeah, that's what I want. That was a pain to get there though, oh my gosh. Okay, much, much better. Let me move the camera so you guys can see it, because it probably doesn't look that good from where you guys are standing. Okay, so now you can see what I'm talking about. Look at that. Let me turn this down. There we go. This has a nasty metallic to it. Now you can see, look at the reflection. Check this out. You just walk down the truck and it's just slowly gonna go away. And it's gone. And it comes back. And it comes back very, very clear at the end. So you can see the paint on this thing. It's very hazy on the top. There's really nothing I can do. I've already sanded the crud out of it, and if I keep sanding it, it's just gonna burn, which you can see it's starting to do. But on the sides, look at that color change. Look at that, isn't that insane? Now you can see the metallic, there we go. This is gonna look sweet in the sun. Oh my goodness, it looks like a fresh paint job on the front. I mean, that's crazy. You can see totally my reflection. Versus if I come over here, look at that, light just disappears. So like I said, I'm not a detailer by any means. I'm never gonna say I know what I'm doing, but I think I've got onto something. So that looks pretty good. This is gonna take a long time for sure. I think this video I was originally supposed to be detailing the entire truck. I think this video is gonna be just on the paint, because this is gonna take a while, but you can just see that. I mean, that's immaculate. God, my camera's having a hard time focusing on it. It's so deep. All right, let's keep going. This is gonna take a long, long, long time, a lot longer than I thought it would, but you can see that difference if I come over to this other fender. now that I've been staring at it this whole time, that is what we started with. So these trucks can look immaculate if you put the time in and you figure out the combo that works. This is all you got to do. It takes a little bit of time. It's definitely going to take a couple days, and I think I'm going to be here the rest of tonight and then all day tomorrow on this truck, and hopefully I can get a second set of hands in here. But man, that looks incredible. Stop painting your trucks. You don't need to. Just do this. But all right, let's get after it. Joe, when's the last time you put a freaking button up on?
3.
I can tell, look, you're like way off. You're not even on the right.
Oh wait. How does it work?
What do you mean how does it work?
Where's the other one? Oh, it's up here.
Dude, your whole collar is like folded in. Look at this.
I don't wear a shirt. You know what?
You don't wear shirts. Okay, so I kind of finally figured out a combination that works, and I'm just gonna explain it to you because this is about as aggressive as it gets. There's no physical way that you have a truck that's, basically if it's more aggressive than this, you probably should just not buff it. But anyways, the only difference it's gonna change is you're gonna start with a lower grit. So this one, I think I can get away with 1,000. Realistically, you can, what the? Dude, that thing is huge.
I'm ready.
I didn't say grab that one.
I'm ready.
Yeah, you got a dress on. Oh, that's amazing. Yep. Okay, yeah, let's pick a different shirt. So basically what I did is I ended up going from 1,000 grit all the way to 3,000 grit, sanding this, and you can see the light as I come across it. It's still a little hazy, but that's, I mean, come on, we're miles past where we were. And you can see the colors actually coming back, which is really good. So what I ended up doing after I sanded it, I ended up putting it on a DA because I was hand sanding this entire thing, which sucks. So you go to O'Reilly's, you get the little flat ones and run a block across it. That's gonna take you all day. Don't bother doing that, screw that. So I ended up going to an actual body shop. This is from Sherwin-Williams. This is their house brand stuff. This stuff is super freaking expensive. Just 25 of 1,500, 2,000, and then I think there's like literally only 5 in here, was $136 with like an extensive discount. So this stuff is super freaking expensive. So try to get it on Amazon, way cheaper. Don't go this route if you have to. I just was kind of pressed for time, so I had to go buy it. So that's where we're at. So 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000. Throw it on a DA. I have a very nice DA. I would recommend if you're gonna do that, you don't have to have something this nice. Harbor Freight, just get something pneumatic and it's variable speed. So you can turn the speed down on this to make it not go quite as crazy because you don't want to burn a hole in the paint. So that's the biggest thing we're trying not to do, is burn in through the paint. So the other thing is you're gonna get a spray bottle with water. This is just water, and you are going to soak the crap out of the hood on this thing. Go through it, get it all nice and wet. We're gonna soak this thing very, 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 very great amount. I am probably gonna redo this side again, so I might as well just soak the whole damn hood. Soak this, go from your 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 to 3,000, and then you're gonna do a 3-step on a cut. So I have a super, super heavy cutting pad. You can actually see here's the foam pad, here's one of them. So there's this guy, this is a ultra coarse blue heavy cutting pad. And then there's a medium cut pad, you can see right there, medium cut pad, and then a polishing pad. This is a 3D polishing pad. That's really kind of the holy trinity that I've been using. I have been switching to a heavy cut wool pad as well. It seems like the wool pad works better on these older trucks. So it's another one that I've been doing. But realistically, get it up to 3,000 grit to where you have a nice, consistent, dull finish, and you can see the light is sharp. So it's a little bit kind of hazy right there, whereas I come over to the fender where it's a little bit better, you can see the light is much sharper. So we're trying to get to a nice, sharp, consistent finish. So if you gotta keep sanding it, you gotta keep sanding it. But you wanna find a fine line because you can see it, the paint's kind of starting to burn through. So I really don't wanna sand it much more than this. So as long as I can have a consistent shine, I'm gonna be okay with that. So that's pretty much where we're at. It's like a 17-step process, so this should be fun. Beautiful. And he's gonna help me.
Every single day I feel the pressure. Double up the work, let's make it extra. Working so I'm gonna get a extra. Working like I never knew investor. Every single day I feel the pressure. Diamonds in my eyes, I know I'm special. In the gym, I gotta get my reps up. In the gym, I gotta get my work in. I can't leave it all the chances, make it certain. Yeah, I had to lose it all to find my purpose. Yeah, but I won't do that twice, it made me nervous. Let's get to work in. I'm like check 1, check 2, gonna get the spins now. Want this, want that, gotta be stand now. Jokes on you.
Trucking along. This side still looks like crap, but Andrew did the other side. So this is ready for polish. So if you do not, like, it's very nice if you, I mean, obviously not everybody has a shop or even a garage with a nice light like this, but if you have even direct sunlight, something to get a very crystal clear idea of where the light is hitting the hood, and you want to be able to very clearly like see your fingerprints in the reflection of this crappy paint before you buff it. If you cannot, you're wasting product and material and time buffing it. So if you cannot see your reflection and see your face and smile in it after 3000 grit, then you need to keep sanding it. And it sounds kind of weird and it seems kind of tricky. You're always like, oh, I don't want to sand too far, too far, too far. You cannot hear my hand on this. Oh yeah, can you? That's the point. You need to be able to see me. So if you cannot see me, then you need to keep sanding it. So this is after 3000.
Kind of.
Yeah, really. And we ended up just throwing that because our 3000 is a hook and loop and my DA is an adhesive back. So we ended up just putting the sandpaper right on the buffer and just running it at about 4,000, 3,000, somewhere in that RPM range, and just kind of doing it wet, going up and down, and it comes out perfect. So pretty much what you need to do is get it up to 3,000, and if it still looks dull at 3,000, you need to go back down to like 1,000 and keep going. So it's a process, it takes forever, but the results speak for itself. This is why, I mean, squeaky. You know, so this is now ready to polish. So when I do a cut on this, I could probably get away with a 2-step instead of a 3-step, and I can just go to a medium cut and then a polish, and this thing will look amazing. So I think I'm gonna do this side real quick, and then Andrew and I are gonna flip, or I'll have him polish it, one of the two, and then you will see this side will be, this side of the truck, basically this whole part of the hood and over, will be completely done, and it'll look really, really good. Then I get to ceramic cut it after, and it'll literally bead water right off of the crappy paint. So yeah, I'm stoked, it looks pretty good.
In the gym, I gotta get my reps up. In the gym, I gotta get my.
Okay, so this side looks like it's pretty much done. There's like little sanding scratches and things here and there, and there's definitely some hazy spots that could be fixed, but I mean, as you can hear, it's nice and squeaky clean. It's one of those things where like, look at the rest of the truck. The rest of the truck isn't perfect, so I could sit here for 2 weeks just correcting the paint, but it's like, this is gonna be a shop truck. This is gonna be a beater. I'm gonna take it camping. It's gonna go through trees. It's gonna go through everything. So it's like, I can't be focused on every little, you know, scratch and nick and whatever. But the colors are sick. You can see all the grays that came through and the whites and the base coats and the primers. I mean, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that it was there. So the only thing we're fighting at this point is a little bit of hazy points towards the center of the hood, because that's where the most oxidation in this entire truck is, on the center of the hood. So it's really difficult. The outsides are easy. The side of the truck's gonna be super easy, but getting this top center section to even be remotely clear is super difficult. So I think we're gonna have one more round of sanding up in this top center section on both sides. But I mean, you can see what we started with. I mean, this is literally as dull as it gets, and then you get to this when you're done. So it's not a lot of money, but it is a lot of time. So it takes a lot of effort, a lot of work, but it is worth it. So we're gonna keep at it and see if we can get this hood to come out. Nice. All right, so I want to kind of point out, I got pretty much the whole top half of this, the front clip, done for the most part. But I want to point out a big difference between what I'm doing and what you could do much easier. So Chaz went ahead and just did this one side real quick. And he uses this stuff, the OP, and this is just basically like a cut and polish compound. And he went ahead and used that on the grinder. So the actual big boy over there, and that has a wool pad on it. And he just basically went through it and just sat here for a minute or two and did this one section, and it comes out good. But you can see the difference. Basically, this would be, I wouldn't consider a lazy way, but this would just be the quick way to do it. And this is kind of what you get. So you can see the result is still good. But you can see the haziness here. And then if you come down to the spot that I did, this is kind of where we get. So still not done over here by any means. I still have one more round of sanding on this, but now you can see the difference. So you can actually see the reflection of the shop a lot better than you can back here. So that's really the main difference here, is you have more haziness. If you're okay with this, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with this. This still looks really good. But I'm just crazy, and I'm very meticulous about the way that my stuff comes out, chasing perfection. And the problem is that Chaz pointed out as well, is since I've already gone so far on the hood and the front clip, I can't just stop and then do it the lazy way. The rest of the truck is gonna look weird. So now I have to completely sand the entire truck and make sure that it all comes out the right way. So I'm gonna be spending way more time than I necessarily need to. But like I said before, your truck probably isn't this bad. There's a lot of them, a lot of these 60s and 70s trucks, it doesn't take much to get them to come out. So I've done a lot of these. This is the hardest one I've ever had to do, which sucks for the case of this video, but either way, you'll probably have a lot better luck than I do. But yeah, we're going back and forth between the rotary and the DA polisher, different wool pads and actual foam pads, a bunch of different pads, so different compounds. I've tried so many different combinations at this point, so you just got to play with it and see what works with your truck. But either way, this is a ton of work, and I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of an update when I get somewhere. So I'm just gonna put the camera down and get to work. All right, guys, so I got pretty much all of this side of the truck. I got just the last little end and then the bottom of the bed to do. But I'm starting to take the bed liner out because I've always hated this thing. I know it's just a plastic warped piece of junk. And I don't think it would, you know, it doesn't really show the condition of this truck well enough. The only nice thing about it being in there is it's definitely protected the bed from all the abuse that it's seen in, you know, in the past. And you can just see underneath all this dirt how pristine the bed floor in this truck is. I don't see a single dent, not a single ripple, nothing. And I would have figured that all the stuff on the front would have held in moisture and would have rotted out the bed floor in the front. And that is not the case, actually. This thing is perfect. Looks like I have a power wire for like a light rack or something that used to be in here. But yeah, look at the front of the back floor. I went ahead and I took everything out on the front over there and it looks absolutely perfect. So I cannot wait to take this bed liner out. I'm actually gonna give this to Toby because the bed in his truck's hammered, so he's gonna come get it. I am gonna pull the truck forward, pull the bed liner out of it, and then I'm gonna buff the top of the bed. So you can see I did some spots over here. And it just has that little bit of patina that just makes it so right. And I'm just, oh, I can't get over it. It's perfect. So I'm gonna continue to do the top of the bedside, and I like a clean bed. I don't like rhino lining and I don't like plastic liners. Just take care of your bed. You know, it's not that hard to just not smash stuff in your bed. If you got something heavy that's gonna drag across it, just go get a cheap $8 moving blanket or whatever it is, so don't ruin the bed floor. But yeah, so I'm gonna go and pull this thing forward, get that thing out. This is the tricky part. I have like a massive cut on my hand, so everywhere I go to grab, I'm like, nope, that's not gonna work. Okay, so now you gotta see what I'm talking about. Look at how nice this bed is. I mean, there's not a dent in the whole thing. Literally, I can't even find a dent in the whole thing. So when I'm done with the detail, I'm gonna drive it through a car wash and blast the bed out again. And take this side off. Even the tailgate, dude! The tailgate's perfect. So, massive props to my uncle for actually taking care of it enough to, you know, I don't know if he put this in, but it was at least in there enough. I mean, you could see all the stuff that was drug across it, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna actually use this thing and destroy it afterwards. So, I will probably do some sort of protective liner that's a little bit nicer than this, if I do. But also, if I end up loading anything, it's just gonna be covered in moving blankets anyways, just so I can keep it nice. But I like the nice painted floor better, so don't be surprised if I actually end up cleaning this out and then buffing the inside of the bed out just so it looks nice again. And that'll probably run loading lights all the way around it. But yeah, that is impressive to see that nevertheless. Because you definitely don't see these bullnose beds to where a lot of them, the bedside ends up getting, you know, blown out and broken and bent. I mean, you can see some little dents now that I've buffed it. Very, very minimal. You know, just a little waviness, but I mean, it's a pickup truck, of course. It's also 30 years old, so what do you expect, right? So this is definitely on the cleaner spectrum of these trucks, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish the side of the truck up, and then but you can really see how much darker this thing is now that I got some sunlight on it. It is a totally different color. So yeah, I'm pumped. This is cool. So let's keep going. Show you how we're going to do this plate. Then you take these off, and then we're going to actually use a wheel cleaning acid on the chrome. That's what's going to take all this corrosion out of the chrome. Essentially, chrome wheels have this kind of stuff on them. This is how you clean it. You want super aggressive acid. Don't let it sit on that long to the point where it stains it, obviously, but just spray it, agitate all the material up, and then wipe it off. So. Nothing to wash cars in my shop, which is ironic because I know a lot of you guys know I have a detailer in there. He's at the river right now, so I had no way to actually like use. I'm not gonna use his stuff. So we're gonna go to the car wash. That's why we're here. I'm just gonna use the power washer to blast most of the compound off, get all of that out of the paint, and then we'll have a nice clean surface so we can go back and ceramic coat later. So that's really what I'm here for, is to get all of the compounds and chemicals off of the truck. We're gonna apply our last little coats of sealers for the patina on the side of it, as well as the ceramic coat on the top. But yeah, let's go. So we finally finished this thing. It took a whopping week because I suck, and this was a lot harder than I expected it to be. But like I said a million times before, this is not normally this hard. So this one took a lot of different reiterations from sanding to cutting to compounds to polishing to everything. All the combinations changed 7 different times, but the outcome speaks for itself. The amount of work you put in is what you get out. So it's kind of what it looks like now. You can actually see the metallic in the fenders and pretty much the upper half of the truck pretty well. And we did notice the paint was very thin on the hood, and a lot of the base colors came out. So this thing has definitely been repainted because we noticed 2 different color grays. You can kind of see it throughout the truck. There's like a lighter and a darker one. But this thing came out amazing. I'm super happy with it. The pinstripe came out nice and bright red again. We're gonna have to go over all the chrome, all the stainless on it, or tin I guess you should say, and then I'll end up repolishing all this stuff as well as the bumpers a little bit more, getting a new windshield, and then same with the rear to get it tinted. So that stuff's gonna change. Obviously the exterior badges aren't on it. I'm gonna order brand new ones of those so they look really nice, and you'll see that come up in the next video. But as you walk around the side of the truck, this is the lesser patina of the sides. It doesn't have as much rust to it, but we're gonna get an actual patina sauce to put on this thing to really soak up and absorb the oils and last a little bit longer. But even the top of the bed, I mean, look, we took the bed liner out of it. This is the nicest bed floor that I've ever seen in one of these trucks. There's not a single dent, no rust up in the front. It's pristine all the way around. So I am gonna either, I don't know, I really don't like Line-X, so I really don't want to rhino liner in this thing, but I kind of want to find some way to seal it to where it stays nice. But either that or I might just get in there with a scrub brush and just give it a good clean and leave it clean. You never know. So yeah, even the tailgate looks pretty good. Came out all right. I need to get the piece that goes right here. I don't know where that ever went, but that's gone, so I need to get that. But yeah, fuel injection badge would go right there. New taillights are on their way, and then you can see this side of the truck is the more heavily patinaed, I guess, on this side. So that will need to get another coating on, but overall this thing looks absolutely incredible. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. Walk to the front of the truck. See our nice pretty fender. This is like my favorite part. It's the way that the paint just kind of wraps around the badge. It's just so satisfying to me. I would hang this fender on a wall if I didn't have the rest of the truck. Yeah, overall, I mean, the grill looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna get a new insert because it's just not worth the effort if they do repop these to just grab one. I think they repop these as well, but I don't think they're very good quality, so I might try to polish these out a little bit better. I got them pretty good for now, but the bumper definitely the front needs to be done. And I know Chaz has stronger chemicals than I have, so we'll touch this up in the next video as well. But yeah, hope you guys wanted to enjoy today's video and you are just as surprised as I am on the before and after, because this definitely was not expected. This thing came out absolutely incredible. I'm super happy with the way that came out. So that being said, I hope you guys wanted to enjoy today's video. If you did, drop a like. It would really mean a lot to me. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll have a little list of all the stuff that I use down in the description for you guys. So with that being said, grab your merchandise at 99 Speed Company, and I'll see you guys in the next video with the bullnose. See you guys.